So welcome to my first thoughts on Metaphor ReFANTAZIO. The game is out now and there's a demo available as well.
Scour!
And it's developed by Studio Zero and published by Atlus. I will ask you guys, are you picking this game up? Let me know down below. And I gotta say, I reached out to Atlus myself and I said, listen, would you like to sponsor this video? Because I really want to get the word out on this game, because I made a video early in the year saying how obsessed with the game I had become. That I was listening to the music all the time, I was doing fan art, so many things like that, and I was like, can we work together to promote this game because I believe in it? So click the link down below because the game is out right now.
Let's do this.
And this game really has ignited my imagination because it is from the creators of Persona 3, Persona 4, and Persona 5. And what Atlus wanted to do with this is to create a third pillar, because they have the Shin Megami Tensei series, they have the Persona series, and now they want to introduce Metaphor ReFANTAZIO into that. And I've been playing this game on the Xbox and also on the PS5.
Don't waste your chance! Get in there!
Now there's a lot to cover. I will start with the story. So unlike other Atlus games, this is a medieval fantasy RPG set in a kingdom where the king is assassinated and a curse is put on the prince, causing a giant tournament to begin across the kingdom to find the king's successor.
Who shall take the throne?
The public believes the prince is believed to be dead, but you, as the main protagonist, are one of the few people to know that he's actually under a curse.
The prince is alive!
And the story is dark. I gotta say that the story is really bleak and it's really strange, and there's a lot of other things going on there that I could talk about that would be deemed as spoilers, and I don't want to ruin this for anybody.
Is that enough for you or not?
So let's talk about our main characters for a moment. So our main protagonist is from the Elda tribe and has set out on a quest to save his friend, the prince, and he's kind of looked down on for using forbidden magic.
What you got in the capital?
And he's accompanied by his fairy familiar, and she's a very, very funny character, but she also keeps him very focused on the mission at hand.
Look, we're not tourists here. We gotta stay focused.
And we have the character Stroll, and I really like this guy, coming from a noble family with a strong sense of honor and justice, who our protagonist runs into at the recruitment center.
We have to help the survivors!
And we have our elf-like character, Hulkenberg, and she's a knight and a former member of the King's Guard who served the prince.
You drew steel. I take it you are prepared to die by it.
And she kind of feels she let the king down, and she's looking for her redemption arc. And we have the bat-like character, Heisme, and he's been dealing with a lot of discrimination for his looks in this world. And he's also a former knight from a different tribe.
Not done yet. I refuse to fall. Come forth, royal soul! Scour! Count! Please!
So to begin with, you pick your difficulty, and there's a wide range of difficulty settings to pick, and one that will definitely work for you. So there's exploration mode where you're walking around, exploring cities, fields, dungeons, and you can bring up your map at any time to figure out where you're at, and you can also scan your environments. Another way to get around is later on in the game, you can surf around on your sword, and it lets you get around the cities and other environments, but I really like it. I like just flying through the city, riding your sword. Now the one thing I really love in this game is the combat. It is fast, it is kinetic, it kind of goes from action to turn-based. You can sneak up on enemies from behind.
Let's do this.
Here they come.
And it's all about finding the enemy's weaknesses, and also you can turn into an alternate form to do even more damage. And I love the combo attacks in this game, where you swipe the enemies and it stuns them, and then you can unleash your attacks to completely cripple them.
Only 2 enemies left.
This should do it. The freedom. Is everyone? Fuck that!
Nice work, Hulkenberg.
That's it, Hulkenberg.
Another strategy in combat that's super important is you're able to jump back and forth between the front row and the back row to ward off certain attacks that would be devastating if you were in the front row.
Clear.
Falling back.
And we got a great cast of characters here, all with different fighting styles and magic abilities.
Leave it to me.
And not only can you upgrade your characters and create special bonds between them, you can upgrade your alternate forms as well.
I've never fought soldiers before, but I won't waver. Wind!
There's another thing that's really funny in this game. When you die, it says, "Fantasy is dead." And I gotta say, the first time I saw that, I just started laughing because I'm like, that is so amazing. I was like, oh my god, you know, my character's dead, this is terrible. And then it kind of reminds me, hey, you're playing a fantasy game.
Not like this.
This isn't happening.
And what I love, even before combat begins, when you see an enemy, we go into an animation mode where your character's face slides across the screen to initiate combat. And it's such a small little thing, but I love it. And I just love the little styles like that throughout the game.
Our usual tactics should work.
And yes, I'm gonna get into the style of the game in a bit here, but just look at the menu systems in combat alone. And only Atlus can do these kind of combat system menus. And I was looking at them going, oh my god, this is so stylish. And I will get back to the whole stylish menus in a second. And we got to talk about graphics here. There's a lot to get into. The anime cutscenes, fantastic. They're so smooth, and I love the character designs, and I love the backgrounds. And you can tell a lot of time and effort was put in to doing these sequences.
Whoa, just look.
But not only that, exploring the cities, the caverns, the towers, the textures. This game has a look to it that is its own thing, and it really harkens back to some of the Persona series and Shin Megami Tensei games, but it's doing its own thing, and you can tell they've really leaned heavily into the fantasy aspects of the game.
Shadows stir in the castle just as they did with the prince.
And there's so many side missions to do throughout the game. And again, I talked earlier on about how I see that there's a lot of money in this game. I'll give you one example. Like when my characters were in this cavern and we're walking through, and they just kind of go into idle animation, and how your fairy all of a sudden settles onto your shoulder. I mean, that was something that nobody had to do. Even if I was making the game myself, I would not even think about doing that. But I love the little subtleties like that, and it shows that they really care about this game world. And I love even the small things, like when a character is talking and their profile picture comes up. It's a big profile picture, it's not a small one. They really cover the screen with these characters, and I really appreciate it because the designs are so great.
We can't let it get away with this. We have to hold it off somehow.
Never mind, the monster designs are so creative and are such a level that only Atlus can pull off. I mean, some of the creatures in this, you sit there and go, oh my god, this is over the top, this is crazy. Even getting to the huge boss encounters, you marvel at. They're creepy, they're surreal, the best in the business, and it's very inspired by the art style of Hieronymus Bosch.
Wait, what? It's healing?
So yes, this game offers amazing visuals, but it also offers something else that I'm a big fan of. This game has one of the best soundtracks of the entire year. It does. And I was already getting into it earlier in the year, listening to the battle music, the Buddhist monk chanting.
Still here?
One remains.
They die hard.
I was like so blown away and so taken back, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so creative and so different. And in a time period where a lot of games just do very safe soundtracks, this game does the opposite. It really leans into something different.
The power of fire!
We did it.
Some of it goes from Buddhist chanting to operatic. It changes depending if you have the advantage or disadvantage in combat. And every section of the game I was getting into, I was like, I like this song. Oh man, I really like this song. I would listen to the song later. And I usually don't do that in a lot of modern RPGs, not lately, but this game has really captured my imagination with the music because they've done things that are so very different, and I really, really appreciate that. So now I can get into the menus. Yes, I wanted to talk about this a little bit earlier on because the menus are a work of art into themselves. And what other game would you say that about when you think about it? I gotta say, in the Persona series, I always marveled at the menus and how they are incorporated into the game world itself and how it's almost seamless between them both. And they're so creative. And here we go again. Just going through the normal menus, seeing your character's faces and seeing hands come out when you pick a different sub-menu or a close-up of a foot. The menu systems in this game are a thing to marvel at, from combat to just the regular menu, picking items or equipment. Nobody does menus like Atlus. So you can tell I'm a little excited about this game because I finally got to play it. And has it lived up to expectations? Yes. I've been having a great time, love the combat, love the exploration, I love the world setting.
We'll meet again, I'm sure.
And even 4 months ago, I ordered the special edition myself because I had to have this because I am a fan of this game. As I was showing earlier on, doing fan artwork of the game, I couldn't resist. I had to show my love of this game, and the game is giving me some love back. That is for sure. Really love the characters, really like the story. I've been really having a lot of fun.
Burn to ash!
Are you guys getting this game? Let me know down below. It's up there as one of my games of the year. It's phenomenal. Another breakout success by Atlus. And I really wanted to hype it up because I wanted everybody to play this game and support it. I absolutely back this game 100%. So anyways, guys, until next time.